Hi everybody, welcome back to In the Kingdom. Guess what? I made it to 100 subscribers. And as I promised, when I reach 100 subscribers, I was going to do a giveaway, and that is what we're going to do today. It's a travel or a personal communion set for you and your family. The outside is a leather-like material. When you open it up, there's the Last Supper here. There are 6 glass communion cups. This is a little travel, you can put your grape juice or wine in this travel communion thing. This is for anointing oil. You can purchase some that have like perfume smells online if you want to put that in here, or you can just use olive oil. And then this is what you would keep your wafers or your little crackers in for your communion with your family. I was so excited about it. I think you guys are going to love it. So this is going to be the prize. Jesus said to do this as often as you will, and this is a reminder of what Jesus or Yeshua sacrificed for us. And going with the theme of eating as in heaven, and all you have to do to enter for this prize, for this drawing, is plan one meatless day. Some people do a meatless Monday every week. However you want to do that, plan one full day of eating meatless for yourself or for you and your family. And I want you to tell me in the comments down below what meals you choose to do for that day, or you can look me up on Facebook at Tracy in the Kingdom, or Instagram at Tracy in the Kingdom. Wherever you go, just tell me in the comments, personal message me on Facebook what your plan is for your meatless day. The Humane Society of the United States estimates that 20.6 million animal lives could be saved by eating vegetarian just once a week for a decade. So you could be a part of saving 20.6 animal lives or causing that much less suffering. And to help you with that, today's video is some of my favorite meals for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm going to share my recipes with you. So we're going to dive right in, and here is breakfast. Breakfast is easy peasy. You already eat a lot of plant-based stuff and don't even know it, like oatmeal, or a lot of cereals are plant-based. Fruit with peanut butter, man, some apples and peanut butter. But that's not what you're here for, the easy peasy stuff. So I'm just going to show you a couple of my favorite meals. The first one is muesli. I will take 1 banana or 2 bananas and mash them up as so. And then you'll take a half a cup or maybe 3/4 of a cup of unsweetened apple sauce. Mix that all up together, and then I add in probably 3/4 a cup or maybe even a cup of the muesli cereal to that. So you want it at about this consistency. I'll try to show you. Then I will put it in a travel container if I'm going to work, or I will just like cover it with a plate if I'm going out like to work out or something. And then you let it set. See, some people will do this and they'll let it set overnight, and then it's called overnight oats. But to me, that gets too mushy, and I don't want that like mushy oatmeal consistency. I'll let it set while I'm out for my workout, which is about an hour. If I'm going to work, then it's probably about 30 minutes while I'm driving to work and get settled and stuff like that. Or sometimes I will add this yummy yogurt with it. I know that some of you guys like savory things, so I also made something savory for you guys. Now this is called a tofu scrambler. Don't zone me out, okay? Tofu is just a bean. It takes on any flavor of like the seasoning you put with it. You need to put seasoning with it. Oh, and this whole thing about not eating soy because it has estrogen in it. Guys, you are not a plant, and it is plant estrogen, okay? You are getting more hormones from cow's milk. You are a mammal, and milk has mammal estrogen in it. You are not a plant. For this, you need 1 block of extra firm tofu, 1 red pepper, and like half an onion, or I personally get this bag of frozen pre-cut peppers and onions together. A lot of times it just makes it easier. I'm a busy mom. Easier is better for me. You'll get your frying pan super hot until the water does this when you sprinkle it like that. I'm trying to saute more without oil because it's less calories, so I added water to it to saute the peppers and onions instead of oil, but you do you, however you want to do that. While that is going on, you will take your block of extra firm tofu. I cut it along the top and down the side, and then I like try to squeeze out as much water as I can, and then I add it into a separate bowl. So while my veggies are sauteing, I then crumble up the tofu until it's about like a scrambled egg looking consistency. Once that's done, you will add your seasoning to it. And to this one, I added 2 tablespoons of powdered turmeric, or 2 tablespoons of smoked paprika, and then also salt and the salt and pepper. So you'll pour all of that on your crumbled up tofu, mix that together really good. Once your veggies are soft in the pan, you will add, like I added a whole head of kale that I had. My favorite is to add like several handfuls of spinach. Stir that around some, keep adding water so that nothing sticks to the bottom of the pan, and then put your tofu on top of that. Stir that all together, let it cook until the kale or the spinach cook down, and then it is ready to eat. Sometimes I will put mushrooms with it. Sometimes I'll put spicy sweet potatoes, which that is coming up. Oh, they're so good in it. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can eat this, and they are all very tasty if you like a savory breakfast. Next is lunch. Many times I eat just my leftover dinners for lunch because that's easy, and that's what I want for lunch, something quick and something easy. Thinking easy is like a baked potato. Like if your regular old baked potato is just with butter and sour cream, then let me tell you, you have not lived, okay? There are so many crazy delicious options to put on your baked potato that are plant-based. And my first and easiest ones is I'll make a baked potato and I will put something like this: roasted garlic hummus, or there's black bean hummus or something like that in the grocery store. Just put a whole bunch of that inside that baked potato, and that by itself with a salad or something is crazy good for lunch. If you don't know about Daiya, let me tell you about Daiya. Daiya has one of the best imitation cheeses there is out there, and they also have a mac and cheese. So sometimes I will make this with some steamed broccoli. They also have just the deluxe cheese sauce. So sometimes I'll add that. I'll make the mac and cheese, and I'll steam the broccoli, and then I'll add 1 package of the Daiya cheese sauce to make the broccoli cheesy too. Mix that all together. You will eat this, and please do not smack your mother because she didn't know, okay? She didn't know that there was more things than butter and sour cream out there, but now you do. So raise your kids right. And when it comes to the carb thing, I look at people who cut out carbs just as sad as they look at me for cutting out meat. Like, I'm like, you poor thing, you don't eat carbs? Like, no carbs? That is so sad. That is literally brain food. Like, your brain literally runs on carb. Moving on from that, my next thing that I would make for lunch, I would usually make this the night before and then just have it packed and ready for lunch, and that is spicy sweet potatoes. You can eat these in your tofu scramble, you can put these in your chili, you can put these in a taco with some black beans and some avocado. This is so yummy. Spicy sweet potatoes, y'all, you need to try this. To start, you preheat your oven to 400 degrees. 2 sweet potatoes, wash them real good. Get your mussels out and chop those sweet potatoes into little tiny cubes like this. Kind of drizzle some olive oil over it, and then add 1 teaspoon garlic powder, half a teaspoon ground cumin, and 1 teaspoon of chili powder, salt and pepper. Drizzle your spices over top of your sweet potatoes, and then kind of move those around until they're nicely covered. Put it in the oven for 20 minutes or until they're soft. You can take a fork and poke them to see if they're done. Once they are done, oh my goodness, they are so good. You can eat them a million different ways. Okay, last we are getting to is dinner. When you're first transitioning, it's often helpful to have like the fake meat substitutes. The first thing that I actually made this a couple nights ago, and that was vegan lasagna. For the inside, I made this ricotta cheese that's made out of cashews, and I got that from Simply Veganista. First, you take 1.5 cups of cashews, put them in a bowl, and you can soak them in cool water for like 2 to 3 hours. If you are pressed for time, you can soak them in hot water for just like 5 minutes. You can also do this without soaking them at all, but they won't be as soft. I did 1.5 cups cashews, but and this was for an 8x8 pan, I think. If you're going to do a 9x13 pan of lasagna, then you would need to double this recipe. So 1.5 cups of cashews, soak them in the water. Once they're done, drain the cashews and add them to a food processor. Then you're going to add 1.5 cups water back to that, 1 tablespoon apple cider vinegar or the juice of 1 lemon, 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast, which you can find in your health food section, 1 clove of garlic, half a teaspoon of onion powder, some salt and pepper to taste. Once again, if you're going to do a 9x13, then you would double all of those things that I just said. Put that in a food processor and scrape down the sides as you go and make sure it all gets processed well. So then you'll need to start your lasagna noodles, get them going. You can look, usually like the store brand stuff, sometimes if you look, store brand stuff is accidentally vegan, so find some lasagna noodles. In another pot, you will cook your meat. To my meat, I added, actually my husband started the meat for me, and he put in some basil, oregano, and garlic powder, onion powder. Add your spaghetti sauce to that, and then just kind of simmer until it cooks together a little bit. After that, you're going to layer. Start with your sauce on the bottom, noodles, your cashew ricotta. I added spinach on top of mine, and then I repeated that, and then I ended with another layer of noodles, another layer of sauce, and I put the Daiya shredded cheese on the very top. You put that in a 370-degree oven for 30 to 40 minutes or until the cheese on top is melted, and then it is ready to enjoy, and it was so good. Okay, the other thing that I made is called red beans and rice. I will eat this, once I make this, I will eat this for breakfast, lunch, and dinner until it's gone because I think it tastes so good. So for this recipe, you can either chop up some peppers and some onions and put it in a hot frying pan, or you can get your bag and just throw the whole bag in the frying pan. Let those saute with about 3 cloves of garlic. So while my onions and peppers are sauteing, then I will start a bag of this because it's quick. So this is kind of pre-cooked and it makes it easy. While all of that's going on, then I'll get my spices and my sausage ready. So the sausage I use for this is called chorizo. Ooh, it's so good. So I'll get that chopped up and I will get my spices ready. For this recipe, you're going to need 2 teaspoons of dried thyme, 3 teaspoons smoked paprika, and 2 teaspoons of Creole seasoning. You will also need 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke, but that comes later. So I'll get my spices ready, get my sausage chopped up. Once the peppers are soft, you can add some red bean. You can make your red beans fresh if you want to ahead of time, or you can be like me and take the easy route. So I add my beans to my peppers and onions once they're soft, and then I add my sausage to that and sprinkle the spices on top and your 1 teaspoon of liquid smoke there, and let that cook together really good. I also keep adding water to keep it kind of creamy. Once it's all heated through, you can either have your rice on the side, or I just add my rice to it and then mix it all together, and it is ready to go. So, like I said, if you want to enter for the drawing for this, then you need to just come up with one meatless day that you're going to eat. Everybody's not going to go vegan, I understand that, but the more steps that you can take to eating a kinder diet, it's better for your health, it's better for the planet, and it's better for the animals, and you're eating closer to how you will be in heaven. So you may not go plant-based now, but I guarantee you're going plant-based later. So if you want to discuss this further, if you have comments, even if you have disagreements, then we can talk about this deeper down in the comments, but I will invite you, as we discuss these things, to discuss them with all humility and with gentleness and with patience and bearing with one another in love, as it says in God's Word. That's all I have for today. Let me know in the comments what you're going to do for your meatless day, and you'll be entered in the drawing. Be love and live for the kingdom to come. Bye.